Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our very first webinar hosted by Arcade Beauty. Today, we will be presenting Sampling 101, an introduction to strategy behind how sampling works, why it works, and what goes into making it a successful experience. As a consumer myself in the beauty space, getting a free sample is always my path to purchase. The try before you buy method has always resonated with me, and as important as it is for the consumer, it's even more important for the brand. It is a way for brands to get their products in as many consumers' hands as possible and promote without giving away large amounts of product. I always say, the more you sample, the more you sell. Let's first start off by introducing our hosts. My name is Nicolette Audino, and I am the Vice President of Sales and New Business Development here at Arcade Beauty. I just entered my ninth year here at Arcade and have worked with accounts of all sizes to build out their sampling and retail strategies. I feel so lucky to work in the beauty space filled with such creative people who love to try new products. In addition to myself, we also have Haley Vieira, our sales director here at Arcade Beauty for New Business Development. I'll let Haley introduce herself and share her background. So, Haley, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Nicolette. Hi, everyone. My name is Haley Vieira, Sales Director here at Arcade and self-proclaimed skincare junkie and avid review reader. I've been at Arcade for 2.5 years, and I've been in the beauty industry for my entire career. I started my journey on the brand side, working in field sales and education, and was able to transition my passion for products and ingredients into a career in formula development and product manufacturing. My favorite part of what I do is partnering with brands and helping them bring their visions to life.
Awesome. So you may be asking, what qualifies us to tell you how to build a sampling strategy? Well, Arcade Beauty has had over a century of expertise in the sampling space, which has allowed us to become the #1 global leader in sampling. We have 12 manufacturing sites across 4 regions. As a global company, we have produced over 3 billion samples annually, working with both historic and emerging brands worldwide. We have over 30 sampling technologies with a variety of patents. We've innovated some of the most unique and custom sampling products that are out there and have even expanded into the retail space through our technologies. So let's jump right into what we're going to walk you through today. First, we're going to talk about why product sampling is effective. I'll walk you through 5 key reasons why sampling is so important for your brand. We'll then discuss considerations for both designing and manufacturing an effective sample. We'll tap into trends in the market through sampling. Haley will share with you the market trends we are seeing and how these correlate to sampling programs and technologies. We'll walk you through a standard sampling process and timeline and some key things to think about when you're building this out. And of course, we'll save some time for questions. So why is product sampling effective? Of course, like with anything, before you invest time, resources, and capital into a sampling program, you want to do the research and have a solid understanding of why sampling is important and how your sampling campaign will work. Product sampling is a powerful tool for driving awareness, trial, and conversion, especially in an industry driven by personal preferences. In a world where new beauty brands seem to launch on the daily, how are you going to set yourself apart from your competition? Product sampling is so effective due to a few psychological and experiential factors, which we will go into more detail on the next few slides. Here's a few: risk aversion, brand and product discovery, reciprocity, ratings and reviews, and loyalty. Let's jump into risk aversion. For customers, receiving a sample first allows them to test out a new product without any risk or obligation, making them more willing to try something new. This hands-on experience helps them determine if the product meets their expectations before committing to a full-size purchase. Personally, I'm constantly perusing the free sample section at Sephora.com so I can try new products I've had my eye on. This is particularly helpful when it comes to shade matching, especially like me, you don't love leaving your house to try products in store. Being able to test out different shades or formulas in the comfort of my home makes the process much less stressful and more enjoyable. Plus, it saves me time and the hassle of going into a crowded store. For the brand, samples play a crucial role in enhancing the customer experience while also reducing the risk of product returns, which is huge. Additionally, offering samples can significantly boost the chances of converting a trial into a full-size product and cultivate long-term brand loyalty, a topic we'll explore further later. So let's jump in again to brand and product discovery. Product samples are one of the top ways that consumers claim to discover new products. According to a study by Stella Rising, 58% of consumers discovered a new product by receiving a free sample. For myself, it's become increasingly rare for me to buy something without testing it out beforehand. Consumers are now 4 times more likely to make a purchase if they've had the opportunity to sample it first. Next is the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity is defined as a powerful sense of obligation to return a favor when someone has done something for us. It often drives the impulse to give something in return, make a purchase, or feel a sense of indebtedness. When a consumer receives a free sample, they naturally feel the need to return the favor or pay the brand back by completing an action, whether that be leaving a review, making a purchase, or staying loyal to the brand. Ratings and reviews. In today's digital age, ratings and reviews are crucial to the success of your brand and product launch. Consumers have become incredibly savvy, with 98% stating that reviews are an essential resource when making purchase decisions. I'm sure we all can relate when we look at reviews when we're trying a new restaurant or a new beauty product. Reviews have become one of the most influential factors in a purchase decision, as they build confidence in first-time buyers and lend credibility to both the brand and the product. With the law of reciprocity in mind, offering consumers a free sample increases the likelihood that they will take an action, such as leaving a review. Further, 71% of consumers also consider recency when reading reviews, with 34% looking for reviews that are between a week and a month old. Consistent sampling campaigns are an excellent way to generate and maintain fresh reviews for existing products, create buzz, and instill confidence in consumers for new product launches. And finally, brand loyalty. Providing consumers with a free sample can foster a relationship and long-term brand loyalty, which will fuel future and repeat purchases. Rewarding the customer with a free sample is a great way to build loyalty. For example, brands can introduce products to new audiences that are unfamiliar with their brand or reward loyal consumers with access to free samples of new or existing products. Now I'm going to pass it over to Haley for some key considerations and trends in the industry.
Thanks, Nicolette. I don't know about you, but to this day, I still get excited when I receive a sample of a new product or a new brand I've had my eye on. Even walking through Trader Joe's, I have found some of my favorite snacks just by being handed a sample from an employee. Often, a sample serves as a consumer's first interaction with a formula, product, or even a brand. This means the design of your sample is just as important as your full-size product. You'll want to ensure your sample meets your goals, provides a positive experience, and a cohesive story. A few things you'll want to take into consideration might be, what is your sampling goal? The goal of your sample campaign will inform the sample technology. So let's say you're launching a new foundation and targeting an existing customer, someone who knows and loves your brand, someone who's already purchased some of your products. You'll likely offer a large shade range, allowing consumers to swatch and find their perfect match. If you're targeting a qualified customer, someone who knows about your brand, maybe they've signed up for your newsletter and shows they're interested in your products. You might want to offer something more deluxe that provides them multiple uses, allowing them to really fall in love with your formula and brand. If you're considering in-store sampling, single-use samples could be a good option because they're easily passed out, can be packed in bulk, and don't take up much space if they're being housed in store. Some things you want to consider. What channel are you going to sample in? Meaning, where are these going to end up? Are they going to be direct to consumer? Maybe they're e-commerce. Maybe they'll end up in a major retailer like Sephora or Ulta. Maybe they'll end in a catalog. Next, you want to define your fill weight. How many uses do you want the consumer to have? Do you want them to try the formula once or have a week-long love affair? Remember that you're walking the fine line of ensuring a great customer experience without delaying the purchase. The ultimate goal is return on investment. Lastly, let's talk dispensing method. Choosing the correct dispensing method for your formula can ensure the customer has a positive product experience. If you have a formula with a high viscosity, let's say a body butter, a paquette would be a good tool as it allows easy evacuation of your formula. So here's a few examples of ways to achieve your sampling goal with technologies that we've produced here at Arcade. The first one is the setting powder that everyone knows and loves, Laura Mercier. We developed a custom sample here to replicate the exact application of this loose powder. It wouldn't make much sense for a sample like this to be in a paquette, so we partnered with the customer to design a sifter inside the thermoform that allows the consumer to truly evaluate the product in the same way the full-size product performs. Shade inclusivity. Those are buzzwords that can truly make or break a launch. Pat McGrath wanted to showcase her thoughtful array of shades. So we used our Beauty Seal technology, which allows her to display her shade range in label form. This sample shows multiple shades and provides just enough product for the consumer to swatch and shade match. We also see this technology commonly used in concealers and all throughout the lip category. Cross-promoting and encouraging layering. Rare Beauty has taken the industry by storm, and so has her sampling. By using two technologies in one sample, we helped this customer to showcase multiple formulas, strengthen cross-promoting, and encouraging layering. It's also a great way to highlight a fragrance story. I personally will know that I've made it when I'm able to hire Patrick Ta to do my makeup for me. But in the meantime, you can use his multi-shade thermoform sample for a full face application of his beautiful foundation samples. And who doesn't love a mini? Just when I think I have found everything I need at my local beauty store, I get sucked in at the grab and go. And all of a sudden, I need a mini hairspray, a tiny lip gloss, and definitely that baby moisturizer. Deluxe minis showcase efficiency and efficacy. They help brands maintain a cohesive story and replicate their full-size products. Additionally, they can be sold at point of sale. So let's talk trends. Tapping into trends isn't just about staying relevant. It's about anticipating what customers want before they even know they want it. And it gives brands a competitive edge and ensures long-term success. Now, think about a brand that you truly think creates trends. They're competitive, edgy, and willing to take risks. That being said, here are some of the biggest trends we're seeing in the market: sustainability and clean beauty, science-backed products, fragrance layering, and affordable luxury. Although these trends start with formulation, there's absolutely a way to tap into them while strategizing your next sampling launch. The first trend that we saw a lot of in 2024 and that we all know is here to stay in 2025 is sustainability and clean beauty. Not only does this revolve around the formula using clean and sustainably sourced ingredients, but it depends heavily on eco-friendly packaging. Ways you can do this is by reducing your plastic and rigid packaging and opting for paper solutions rather than multi-layer laminates. Recently, Arcade launched the first to market recycle-ready paper paquette available in both 63 and 80%, as well as an eco-friendly fragrance sample, the Paper Scent Seal. Whether it's hair care, body care, or skin care, we're seeing refill pouches take the industry by storm. This eliminates your need for secondary packaging, and we can even use monomaterials, which lowers your carbon footprint. I recently went to a makeup expo and I saw a bunch of beautiful waterless foundations, which can be sampled using a thermoform. To seamlessly sample any waterless formula, I'd suggest using any one of our blister samples in an easy-to-use sampling catalog. The next trend would be science-backed products. They are becoming increasingly more popular, but how do you sample them? Ampules help replicate that medical grade feel and aesthetic, and glass helps with compatibility of potent treatments. Multi-day trials. If you have a formula that has a clinical claim and requires a few days to see results, a multi-day trial is an excellent option. Additionally, you could opt for fusion packs, as they're great for formulas that require separation, or if you have two formulas that have gone viral for being mixed together, it's a great way to sell two products at once. Fragrance wardrobing. Personally, I finish off every look with a fragrance. It's a finishing touch for every outfit. That being said, scent layering is on the rise. We created this sample for Rare Beauty, which allows the customer to try their new body lotion and the body mist at the same time. This not only extends the life and wear time of their perfume, but allows the customer to storytell and sell multiple products at the same time. Another option is to showcase multiple fragrances using a discovery kit. As I mentioned, everyone has their signature scent, and it usually involves a few spritzes of one and another spritz of another perfume. It's a perfect way to have your customer explore the entire line, and you also get that instant return on investment. Lastly, affordable luxury. It's a very sought after offering. It's convenient and allows customers to indulge in a brand and their offerings without breaking the bank. Our recommendation on ways to tap into this trend is by offering a saleable good with a deluxe fill. You can replicate the full size packaging and create a mini, embrace travel size fill weights like this Tom Ford spray pen. And believe me, I love a $400 perfume, but a 10 ml spray pen is great for travel and a little bit better on my budget. We truly believe that aligning with these trends helps to strengthen brand DNA, attract consumers, drive long-term growth, and ultimately, who doesn't want that? Back to you, Nicolette.
Thanks so much, Haley. So now we're going to talk a bit about how to plan for your sampling campaign regarding budgets and timing. A few things you want to think about when planning. First, budget your sampling from the start. Whether you're launching a new product or building a sample into an existing SKU, it's important to budget at the very beginning so you know what technology and quantity you can work into your budget. Next, determine the channel you want to sample in. I know that Haley spent some time on this earlier, but I need to drive it home because it's so important and crucial to choosing the right sample. Where is your brand sold and how can you activate the most customers through your sample? Reminder of some of the channels are direct to consumer, e-commerce, in-store, catalogs, and more. Next, set a cost of goods per sample. This will hold the vendor you choose to help, sorry, this will help guide the vendor you choose into what technology would be best for your goals and your cost targets. It would be great to build in your bulk needs for the sample program upfront as well, so you have a cohesive cost of good. And next, consider lead times. Are you going to move forward with a standard offering from your vendor or create something completely custom? For standard offerings, start planning about 5 to 6 months out. And for anything custom, start planning about 10 months in advance to account for any complex development timing. At Arcade, we can also turn around samples in as little as 8 weeks from purchase order, dependent on the technology. But it's always great to be able to plan and strategizing in advance if you can. Keep in mind, just going back to cost of goods, that custom tools range in cost. So keep this in mind when budgeting. And another tip, just to hit another point on lead times, build in enough time for testing your formula and your product through compatibility testing. At Arcade, we usually perform a standard 4-week compat test, but we can adjust based on your protocols. You want to test for color, odor, appearance, delamination, weight loss, all those things. You can always waive testing to save time, but we would like to suggest to review and perform beforehand so you know how your product reacts to materials. So just to give everyone a quick idea of a timeline and what goes into the making of the sample, I wanted to share some important milestones that we usually see. Of course, first is your development work. This timing will vary depending on complexity and may not even be necessary, but that will always be done up front. Next, we'll move into compatibility testing. As mentioned, we usually do a 4-week test, but we can do longer based on your protocols, or we can accelerate. After everything is approved, your purchase order will be issued, and we will order materials, and you will submit artwork over to us. We will then move into the proofing rounds. Proofing usually takes about 1 to 2 rounds between color rounds, and we can do multiple color rounds if needed. Materials in bulk will then arrive. Production will occur. Outbound testing of any finished goods happens, for example, micro testing, which takes about a week, or any outbound testing that's required. We will move into shipping, and production is then complete. Just to know, we're always able to be flexible with timing, and we can add line trials where needed, extra proofing rounds, or we can work with a project management team to even shorten up those timelines if needed. So there's a lot of research that should go into selecting the right manufacturer when choosing how to sample. It's good to think about the following. First, how much product do you want to give away? Do you want to proceed with a true one-use sample, or do you want a deluxe size? This will help you and guide you into fill level and which vendors can accommodate this fill level and format. Next, what competitive samples do you like? A benchmark is always a good place to start. Of course, you will customize, but it helps to collect competitor samples and find something that you really like to just start with. Next, what experience do you want for the customer? Do you want the customer to fall in love with the scent of your body lotion, or do you want them to actually physically apply it to their skin? How do you want to interact through the sample to your customer? Next, are your sampling initiatives global or domestic? One thing that I can suggest is finding a turnkey manufacturer, one that does testing, sourcing, filling out, packing, so that you're at a one-stop shop for your samples. Here at Arcade, we're able to be that full service to you, and we're able to do everything from testing to creation, printing, filling, packing out, and shipping. So we're truly a one-stop shop, which is so helpful to the brand. So just some key takeaways before we go into Q&A. Sampling is key for brands to allow consumers to try a product before a purchase. Noting consumers are 4 times more likely to purchase after sampling a product. Tapping into trends in the market with sampling is possible, and there are design technologies that align with these market trends. Considering the channel you want to sample in, your budget, the design of the sample, and the end user goal is super important. And selecting the right manufacturer is key, ensuring that they align with your budgetary, timing, quality, and service goals. So does anyone have any questions for us? We did save some time. We only have a few minutes because we want to save time for everybody, but we will take some. I see some popping up now. I'll take the first one if okay with you, Haley. It says, can you tell me a bit more about the paper packet, which I'm so excited somebody asked because we are excited about the development work that surrounded the 80% paper packet. So currently at Arcade, we have a 63% and an 80% paper-based packet. And we actually were at LuxPack last week and we just won the In Green Award at LuxPack, which was super exciting for the most sustainable option. So we're super happy about that. And honestly, I feel as if having a paper sachet is revolutionary in the sampling space. So what's really great about this is that, like I said, it's a paper-based packet and it is recycle ready. We have a ton of information on the material specs that we can pass along, and we can perform LCA studies versus your current sampling vehicle so that you can see how much carbon emissions you're saving, water, all of that. It really helps go into a nice sustainable sampling campaign. In addition to the paper packet, we also have a bunch of paper solutions that we're looking to launch. So definitely stay tuned for more innovations surrounding sustainability. But like I said, the paper packet is super exciting. We're happy to share more information in regards to costs, lead times, which really doesn't change much, but it's really exciting. And then I think there's a few others, Haley, if you want to take one or two, that'd be great.
Yeah. The next question I'm seeing is, I know you mentioned retail capabilities. Can you tell me more about that? So one great thing about working with Arcade is that we have the capability to manufacture your launches from flat sampling, like a Discover, a Scent Seal, a Liquid Touch, a Paquette, all the way up to your retail filling and even gift set kitting. We have a state-of-the-art blending suite that allows us flexibility to compound small batches for more niche brands and larger batches for larger quantities. Additionally, all of our tubular glass is manufactured in New Jersey, so think shortened lead times. We even have the capabilities to fill hot pours. We can fill in jars, tubes. Basically, if you can dream it, we can make it.
Yes. And I'm just going to answer one more question, then we're going to head over to our thank you slide. And of course, we will email you guys with answers to any questions we did not get to. I know Haley had touched on it, but someone had asked, do we manufacture in the US? The answer is yes. And then that same person asked what sizes are available for the paper packet and are any formulas not able to perform in the paper packet. So far, we are not seeing any formulas that are not able to perform. So we're seeing great, results. So we don't have any call outs there. And as far as sizes, we offer here an array of different sizes for paquettes. So we can use those same for the paper paquettes. We have die cut capability. So really the sky is the limit, so to speak, when it comes to any sachets, shapes, or sizes. Like I said, any other questions that we didn't answer, which I see a few, we will email responses to you guys. So I just wanted to thank everyone so much for joining our very first webinar. We really hope you learned something about the importance of sampling and the process. If you'd like, scan the QR code here so you can sign up for our newsletter and be kept in the loop of all new sampling technologies and trends here at Arcade. We will also send you an Arcade Beauty branded tote with samples for inspiration. We're going to send out this presentation to all so you can digest. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions. We are here to help, and we can't wait to hopefully bring your sampling programs to life. Thanks so much again. Have a great day, guys. Bye.